IQAC of our institution in collaboration with London Business University, Singapore. We shall start the session with a word of prayer.
The voice is breaking.
We have with us Dr. S. Uma Maheshwari to discuss on the plagiarism tools to enhance the efficacy of research. Dr. S. Uma Maheshwari is working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science at Dr. G. R. Damodaran College of Science, Coimbatore, where she focuses on research in the areas of IoT, big data analytics, and cloud computing. She received the BSc Computer Science degree from the Bardiyar University, MC Bharathidasan University, MPhil and PhD degree in Computer Science from Bardiyar University, and has widely published in academic journals and reputed conferences. She authored a few books chaptered published by leading publishers. She has 11 years of experience as system administrator and 21 years as a teaching faculty. She is teaching RDBMS, cloud computing, open source technology, mobile app development, and latest web technologies, and has a wide knowledge in installation, configuration, and working with the Oracle and SQL databases. She is involved in the installation and administration of Windows and Linux servers. Her research interest includes IoT, data analytics, mobile networks, cloud computing, web technology. She is a reviewer in reputed journals and in Grace Hopper Celebrations India. She served as a reviewer of Trends in Platform Engineering Track, GHCI 2018, iConnect Committee member of GHCI 2019, Student Scholarship Reviewer for Grace Hopper Celebration 2020, Review Committee member, Computer Science System Engineering Track Committee for the virtual Grace Hopper Celebration 2021. She has been the coordinator for the lecture workshop on research paradigm in communication and data engineering and emerging trends in digital image processing, sponsored by Joint Science Education Program of the Indian Academy of Sciences. She has been offered the 2-month summer research fellowship by Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore, to carry out the research at University of Hyderabad during 2015 under the guidance of Dr. Atul Negi, Professor, University of Hyderabad. She also has been offered with Internet Society Fellowship in INSIG 2016 and Internet Society Fellowship for IETF 101 2018 held at London. She currently follows the role and core working group of IETF. Ma'am, thank you so much for being here and sharing your knowledge on research. And over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Deepa ma'am, for the wonderful introduction. And I would like to thank the management for giving me this opportunity. The management of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Session Jain College for Women for conducting this FDP series on journal writing in association with LBU, organized by the IQAC cell of Session Jain College for Women. I thank Dr. Deepa, Associate Professor, and Dr. S. Prison, Assistant Professor of Computer Science Department of the college, for inviting me to talk about, to share my knowledge on journal writing. Good afternoon, all. I think you're all comfortable in listening. Am I audible, and are you all ready now? Can we start?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So I'll be talking about the plagiarism tools for enhancing the efficacy of research. This is the title of this topic, where I will be concentrating on the definition. I think you have all learned about the plagiarism and how to choose the title and how to write the abstract, all those things. I'll be talking about the plagiarism tools. How, after completing your research paper, which has to be published in any of the journals, how we have to avoid plagiarism and what is the importance of plagiarism, and the bibliometrics. So we will be keep on publishing our research papers in the conferences, in leading journals and other things. As and when we publish, we will be our publication will be added in the third-party resources like Google Scholar, Web of Science, Scopus, all those things. So these are the different third-party resources where they'll be measuring the bibliometrics of the author, institution, and the paper as well. So I will be touching upon that also. So how to calculate the H index? What are the different bibliometrics which are frequently used for measuring our research writing, and how we have to find it out in different resources. That is what is the outline of the talk today. Plagiarism, as we all know, that plagiarism is the definition given by the Oxford English Dictionary. Plagiarism is presenting someone else's work or ideas as your own with or without their consent by incorporating it into your work without full acknowledgement. All published and unpublished material, whether in manuscript, printed or electronic form. So this is the dictionary definition that is given. So being the researcher, we have to be very much aware about the plagiarism. We should not do copy paste of our work. Whatever the document we write about our work, it should be unique. That should be the originality should be maintained. The content writing is very, very important once we complete our work. So even though we complete our work, if we are not documenting it properly, our work is of that much that will not become popular. So when the work that is done by the researchers will become popular only when it is published, and only when the research community in the same domain views the content and they take some takeaway from our work. For example, if we are developing one algorithm to do some for developing an algorithm for a network protocol, and it will give some good throughput and it will reduce the delay like that. If we are writing, if being a network protocol researcher, if I'm writing that, I should publish that algorithm along with that evaluation metrics, along evaluation results, and I should give the way to enhance that also. So the next coming researchers, what they can do is they'll be taking our research paper and they'll be seeing how it is implemented and how it works. And after that, they'll be taking the future work. What are the recommendations I have given to the next set of researchers to take up the work? So they'll be taking that and they'll be doing that. So in that case, the work, whatever we do, is become useful to the academic society academic society only when it is published originally. The originality should be maintained. That is the core objective of having the to avoid the plagiarism. So this is another definition given by Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary: to steal and pass off as one's own, to use without crediting the source, to commit literary theft. So the intellectual property rights is very, very important, and we have to get it published in the leading journals once we have completed our work. That is very important. So why people are plagiarizing? Why? What is the reasons to plagiarize? Because of some laziness, or they make the work easy. Okay, to make the work easy. And some people will be very good in doing their work or developing some algorithms or doing some research better, but they'll be in lack of writing. They'll not be having that much conversant with converting their work into writing. So that is what are the different reasons the people tend to plagiarize. And being the researcher, we have to avoid plagiarism 100%. The plagiarism should be avoided, not to the maximum. 100% the plagiarism has to be avoided. So the plagiarism constitutes a breach of academic integrity and represents substandard scholarship. And this can have lasting impact on the future career, regardless of whether it was intentional or not. Whether we are copying it intentionally or not, it is a mistake. It is a crime actually. Okay, the responsibility to avoid the plagiarism belongs with us. Being the academicians and being the students and scholars of the academic community, we have the sole responsibility to avoid the plagiarism. And how we can avoid it? This can be avoided by learning how to correctly acknowledge any ideas, words, images, data, etc. Okay, so we should know how the ideas has to be written properly, originally. Okay, that awareness should be there in each and every individual when we write. And coming to the avoidance of plagiarism, I think this is not repeated. If it is repeated, kindly bear with me. Ma'am, the tools, all these tools, has it been listed in the previous talks?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You can discuss, ma'am.
Okay. So these are the, I'm not getting into each and every tool in detail, but I'm giving a gist of the different tools that are available for checking the plagiarism. Okay, the wiper, and the URL is also given here: Plague Tracker, plagiarism.org, plagiarism checker, duplicate checker, paper plagiarism detector, Unplag, Turnitin, Authenticate, and Okund. So the Turnitin Authenticate is initially the product was Turnitin, and Turnitin, they have come out with another product called Authenticate, and the product Urkund. This Urkund tool is the one which is used by the leading universities. The Turnitin and Authenticate are the ones which are used by the IITs and other leading universities in the country. We will see the screenshot of each one. So this is the homepage of Wiper. Wiper plagiarism checker. The URL is not wiper.org, it is scanmyessay.com. So the primary principle behind any of the plagiarism tool is that we have to give the input, whatever the document we write in the form of a Word document, we have to give it as an input, and this particular tools will check for the originality, and it will list you the level of plagiarism, or how many percentage is your document plagiarized, has the plagiarism level. The plagiarism level will be the output of the tool, right? So this is the Wiper plagiarism checker. And some of the tools, if we are not having the licensed ones, some of the tools will be getting the text as an input. You can copy paste the content into the text box, whichever that is given, and you can check for plagiarism. Okay, after checking, you will be getting the result out of it. This is plaquetracker.com. This is the homepage of plaquetracker.com. And plagiarism.org. So here you will be having some other informations also. Apart from checking your plagiarism, you will be having some contents which is written as a blogs that you can get it from this plagiarism.org website. And plagiarism checker is another tool where you can check the documents and you can check the web pages and the report of the plagiarism, you can get it. And this is another one. This is the what I have told you. This is not exact homepage. I have scrolled down and I have taken the screenshot of that. So here you will be having one text box in between. Please enter your text and press check plagiarism. So you can copy paste the content. So the number of word limit will be there, maximum 1000 words, or yes, it is given as maximum 1000 words per search. So the number of words per search is limited to 1000. You can copy paste the contents into this text box and you can click on the check for plagiarism button so that you will be getting the output. So whenever you have the copied content in your content, that alone will be listed to you along with the reference. So from which research paper you have copied that also will be given as a report of the plagiarism tool. And paper, this is also the screenshot, which is this is the home page where I have scrolled down and taken the screenshot to show how you can copy paste the content into that. So you can copy paste the content or upload the file. Both are possible. Okay, so either you can copy paste the content into the text box given, or you can directly upload the file in the form of a Word document, paper data. And this is another one, plagiarismdetector.net. Here you can upload the paper and you can check for the grammar and punctuation also. That's also possible. So whenever we write the research paper, grammatical mistakes have to be totally avoided. To avoid the grammatical mistakes, you can check it online using the grammarly.com. I think you have heard about it. How many of you have heard about the grammarly.com? Grammarly, can you post it? Grammarly.com. Has anyone has come out? Yes, Grammarly. The Grammarly.com is the one which is used for checking your grammatical mistakes. And this Unplug. Initially, it was unplug.com, but now this unplug.com is redirected to Unicheck. So this has been changed as unicheck.com right now. And this is also one important and useful tool to check for the plagiarism. So all the tools, whatever the tool it may be, whether it is an open source or it is a commercial one, and in the open source plagiarism tools also, you have to register. So if you are a registered user, you will be having more features into it. So everything will be understood only when we explore by ourselves. Okay, so only when you complete your research paper, and only when you give your paper as an input to any one of the tool, and you will be getting the final report as your output. The level of plagiarism, how many percentage of plagiarism you have, everything will be the final output. So by using the different tools and by giving the different way of inputs, the final output will be the same. Which gives you the level of plagiarism in percentage. That will be the one. Okay, so everything will be understood only when we explore by ourselves and to check with the content. This Turnitin. The Turnitin is the one which is used by all leading universities in India. And this Turnitin has the product called Authenticate. Authenticate is a commercial tool. And this commercial tool, I think we have to pay a huge amount and we have to get the license or for this. And what the universities are doing right now is the practice. They have got the tie-up with these, they have got the license for this particular commercially released plagiarism tools, and they use that particular software for all the researchers to find out the plagiarism levels. For example, the college, Dr. G.R. Damodaran College of Science, is affiliated to Bharatiya University. So the research scholars who are pursuing research in our department, they have to submit their soft copy of the documentation, the thesis documentation, to the Bharatiya University library, and they will check the level of plagiarism of that particular submitted document using the software called Urkund, using the software called urkund.com. This is the one which is shown here, Urkund, URKUND. So this urkund.com, they have been identified as an authorized tool, and that is identified as an anti-plagiarism software under the UGC and InflibNet Center. Okay, and this Urkund software is the one which is used by the university for finding out the plagiarism level of the thesis that has to be submitted by the scholar. So only after getting the plagiarism report, the scholar is allowed to submit the thesis. Okay, so the levels are all given. So that I'll show you the entire guidelines for getting the different levels. I'll show you that. And this is the home page of Urkund, where you can get into the software and you can give your paper for checking the plagiarism. And the anti-plagiarism software under UGC and InflibNet, along with Urkund, they use Authenticate also. Authenticate is also identified as one of the authorized tool that will be used by the universities. So this is all about the different tools available for finding out the plagiarism. So next, we will talk about the bibliometrics. Are you comfortable? Are you able to follow, or can we continue with the bibliometrics?
Continue, ma'am.
Yes. When we talk about bibliometrics, for any work that we have in the world, there are some metrics followed for measuring. Similarly, for measuring the publications, that is known as bibliometrics, there are different bibliometrics available for measuring the research. So here the definition given by Donald A. Winster in the year 1974, the application of statistical methods to the study of bibliographic data. How many publishing scientists know anything at all about citation networks, bibliometrics, or even basic information retrieval? So the bibliometrics is nothing but, for example, if we write a research paper, we are publishing in, for example, I'm publishing my paper in on network protocols in journal A. Okay, and in journal B, and I'm publishing in another paper. So once the journal is published, the persons who are doing research, they'll be referring to the journal articles for understanding some protocols or for understanding some implementations, other things. They'll be referring to that. So in that case, if my paper they have taken as a reference, they'll be putting my paper as a reference in their article, and they'll be citing it inside their work. So the number of citation index is one bibliometric, and one more metric is H index. The number of times the H index, there will be a very big formula available, the statistical formula. The H index is another bibliometric. So why I'm telling you this citation index and H index, because in UGC, the UGC is asking for all these information when we go for any approval or any accreditation or IQAC level of work and all. I think you have all heard about this citation index and H index. So the citation index, the number of citations of the particular paper, and the H index is belonging to the author and as well as for the paper. Author as a whole, we have a H index, and for the paper also there is separate H index available. Okay, so these are the bibliometrics, and this is the definition given. Citation index and H index are I have taken only these two bibliometrics. There are other SNP factor like that and all. There are some other bibliometrics available. Why I have taken these two alone is these are the two frequently referred bibliometrics. That is what these two alone has been considered here in this talk. And this Web of Science, Scopus, and Google Scholar are the third-party resources which calculates these two metrics. Web of Science, Scopus, Google Scholar are the third-party resources who will be calculating the citation indexes based on the publication of the author. So this bibliometrics, these third-party resources will measure the bibliometrics for an individual, for an author, for the paper, for the author, as well as for the institution as a whole. For example, we belong to the GRD college. We have the mail ID with grd.edu.in. Okay, so if we want to find out the Web of Science citation index for our institution, we can get it by giving the domain ID of our institute in the Web of Science website, and we can get the citation index of the institution. Similarly, we can get the H index of the institution as a whole. Okay, irrespective of the different domains, as a whole, how many people are working in the department or registered into this domain, and how many papers they have published, and how many citations has been done for each paper. So based on that, the bibliometrics will be measured for an institute as a whole. So the main point I would like to tell is this citation index and H index, the bibliometrics can be measured for an institution as a whole, for a paper as separate, and for an individual, and for individual author. Okay, so you can get the citation index for an author, citation index for a paper, and citation index for the institute. So these are the three different ways we can measure these metrics. Okay, and I have listed only a few third-party resources here. These are the popularly used resources. There are some other resources also available, Indian Citation Index, and you have the PubMed, like that. There are different resources available for measuring this. I'll be showing you the procedure I have taken to find out the citation index and H index of an author and the paper here. For institute, I have not included it here because we need the institution ID and all those things. I'll show you the procedure, and I'll show you the demo also for these three things, how it can be done. Is there any other metric you are aware of apart from this H index and citation index? Any one of you? Apart from H index and citation index, have you come across any other bibliometrics?
How about I10 index, which will be in Google Scholars?
Yes, no, I10 index is also that, because that by seeing that we can take it from that chart, the chart that will be listed. You can also take that also. So for simple understanding about to give the overall view about the bibliometrics, I have taken only these two. The same way we can go with the other indexes also. other metrics also. Yes, now I'll show you the, I'll tell you the procedure for finding out this H index and citation index, and I'll show you how we can get it. So for the Web of Science, to find out the Web of Science citation index, we have to get into the publons.com, and one more important thing the people do mistake is that for publishing the papers, you will be giving, what are the things you will be giving when you publish your paper in the affiliation? The participants, can you tell me? What are the information you will be mentioning in your research paper as your affiliation on the top? After the title of your paper, you will be giving the author names, right? Along with the author name, what are the information you will be giving? Yes, I want the response. Along with your name. Am I audible, all of you?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes, along with your name, what are the information you will be providing as your affiliation? The affiliation is nothing but your detail. Yes. So this should not be a one-way communication. It should be a two-way communication.
You can type in the chat box if you cannot.
Yes, sir, you can type it in the chat box. You can type it in the chat box. Yes, our designation, institution name, your designation, institution name, your department name, and apart from that, along with this, one more important element you have to give. One more important element.
Our email ID.
Yes, your email ID. That is mandatory. Your email ID. Details of corresponding author. Yes, details of corresponding author. Yes, that is also given. That should also be given. So for both the authors, the email ID will be differing, right? So you'll be mentioning both the author's mail ID in the affiliation place. So why I'm asking you this is, so assume that you are publishing 10 research papers. You have published 10 papers. In the first 5 papers, you have given your personal email ID. After that, the second 5 research papers, you have given your institution mail ID, email ID. Even though the author name is the same, the email ID is different. So all the third-party resources, they will evaluate the metrics only by considering your email IDs. That is very, very important. This point you have to be very much clear. So it is always advisable to have a common one single mail ID in all your publications. Whether you are publishing it in Scopus or Web of Science, whatever it is. So this email ID plays a major role in the evaluation of the bibliometrics by the third-party resources. The third-party resources identify you as an author only by checking your email ID in the listed publications. Okay, so that is very, very important. So now coming back to the thing, you have to register your email ID in the publons.com, and after that you will be getting your password and other things. You can log in and you can find out the H index and the citations of each paper and the entire citations of the author. And the next one is your Scopus. So here scopus.com, you need not register. If you are a registered user, well and good. It is not necessary to register in scopus.com. You can simply search the author. You have to give your last name and the first name properly in the search box that is given. And in your name, if you click on your name, you will be able to find out the list of publications along with the H-index and the number of citations. And this Google Scholar, and majorly all our publications will be coming under the Google Scholar. And there you can make use of your Gmail account, the valid Gmail account, for finding out the H-index value and the citation index of the author in the Google Scholar. So for that, you have to get into the scholar.google.com website, and you can go to the My Profile and see the H-index value and the number of citations. So now I stop sharing the screen. I'll be moving on to the browser. And I'll show you how we have to get into each one of it. So I'll share the browser screen now. So can you see the browser?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes. So now I get into the tab Google Scholar. Here I'm simply typing scholar.google.com. So now I'm getting the screen once I give the scholar.google.com, because I've already signed in to my mail ID. So in this mailbox, I have already signed in. So automatically Google scholar.google.com identifies my mail ID, logged in mail ID, and based on that mail ID, it has given me the search. So if I go to the My Profile, I can see the information. What are the citations, number of citations, H-index and I-10 index. So since 2017, the publications are listed here. So there are 82 citations as a whole. This 82 is the number of citations of the author, whereas this 22 is the citations of the separate individual paper, the Internet of Things and RPL routing protocol. So this is the number of citations of this specific respective paper here, whereas this 82 is the total number of citations of the author as a whole. And this H-index value is the H-index of the author, not of the paper. And this is also 3 is the I-10 index. So these three bibliometrics are provided by the Google Scholar for each other, and you'll be able to see the graph for the years. So 2022, I have to do some more work because the graph is here, the down. So I have to make it make more. I have to do some more publications for this year. So if you want to sort it year wise, also you can sort the paper year wise. You would be able to see. So the recently published papers are listed on the top. Are you able to see? Are you able to see? Do you have any clarifications in this?
Yes, ma'am.
The bibliometrics. So the Google Scholar is one of the third-party resource which will be able to measure the H-index and citations. This is what you have to check it out. And you can do other things also. You can add or change your affiliation, and you can add co-authors. And in some situations, the Google Scholar may not be able to include your publication into this list. So you have published your paper in simply, if you give in the google.com, if you give your paper that is listed, but that paper is not included in this Google Scholar, means what you can do is you can add your papers manually here by clicking on this. add articles manually. The article can be either a book, or it can be a journal paper, or it can be a conference paper, or it can be a book chapter, or it can be a book or a thesis or a patent, whatever it is. So irrespective of the publication, what you have done, you can add it manually, provided you have checked it inside and it is not listed here. Okay, provided it is not listed in the title automatically. If it is not listed automatically, you can add it manually by clicking on this plus. By clicking on this plus, you can go to add articles manually, and you can add it as many number of publications you want to add. You can add by providing the valid information. The information should be valid. So this is about the Google Scholar. Do you have any doubt here in this Google Scholar? Yes, the participants? Participants, do you have any doubt regarding this?
And they are replying in the chat, ma'am. There is no doubt.
Oh, 1 minute, because I have taken in that full screen one. That's what I am not able to. I was in that screen. I'll be checking now. No doubt. Okay. Okay. So now we'll move on to the next third-party resource, Scopus. So here I have to give www.scopus.com. So this will be the home screen of Scopus. Then you can go to the author search. So in this author search, I can give my name, my last name and my first name I can give, and I can search. So here, the matching names, all the names will be listed here. Since there is a match, there is only one match with this name, only one, my name is alone coming. For example, if you give Kavita, and there will be a lot of names with Kavita, will be select your name alone. So I'll be taking my name here. Is here. Matrix overview, 11 documents which are listed in Scopus, and there are 46 citations. They all 46 documents together. This is my H index, and the citations of individual papers are listed here. Okay, the citations of individual papers are listed here. Since it is a recently published paper, there are no citations here, 0 citations, and there is 1 citation. And for this paper, there are 19 citations, 14 citations. So like this, you can check out with the bibliometric in scopus.com. 11 documents and citations and H index. Citation index of the author is 46. Citation index of individual papers, you can get it from here. And coming back to the Web of Science, I think I can log out and log in. I'll go to the new tab and I give publons.com. There I can go to login. So only the registered users can log in. Before login, your name should be registered into this portal. And the email ID is the login ID here. And the password. Yes. Here there is a dashboard to track your citations, to manage your reviews, your profile, and your Publon CV into another format. You can export it also. So I can track my citations, my records, and in the left side you can see the publications, PR reviews, editing, editor records, all those things. If I click on publications, that is my record, I can see my publications. There are only 5 publications coming under this Web of Science, and the citation of individual papers is listed here. Citations of individual papers is listed here for each publication. And if you see the dashboard summary, if you come down, you can see the publication metrics. Web of Science number of documents, total number of times cited, and the H-index value, average citations per document, and average citations per year. So this is the publication metrics of the author. All these are the publication metrics of the author. So this is listed by the Web of Science third-party resource. Web of Science third-party resource. Now, all these, can anyone tell me how these values, where exactly this data, the values are evaluated? Where will be the input for this data coming? Can anyone tell me how Web of Science is taking these papers? How Scopus is taking the list of papers of an author? What will be the procedure for that? There is no procedure, but how the papers are listed. I'm not going into this website and I'm not registering it manually in either Scopus or Web of Science. For example, I'll be checking Journal of Communication Networks. There is one journal called Journal of Communication Networks. So in that journal, I'll be simply publishing my paper. I have published my paper in Journal of Communication Networks, but that from that journal, how that particular name of the paper along with the affiliation is listed inside this Web of Science dashboard. Can anyone tell? And one more question I have. How do you check whether the particular journal is indexed by Web of Science or Scopus or Google Scholar? Database indexing is database indexing. So the Web of this Publons will be maintaining a database of all journals which are indexed by Web of Science, As and when there is a paper published in each and every journal, the list of the list of papers along with the author's email ID will be retrieved, and that will be consolidated, and there will be a separate database maintained by Publons for calculating this index. That is the procedure done by the Scopus also. This is the same procedure done by the Scopus also. So I will be typing it in the chat box. You have to check out. I think most of you will be knowing this, but for understanding, I'll be listing it out. Abstracting and indexing. There is one element that you have to check in each and every journal's homepage. Abstracting and indexing. So there you will be seeing lot of indexes, Google Scholar, and these are some few. I'm not typing it fully. Indian Citation Index, Web of Science, and any other thing you know, Scopus. Can you come out with any of the indexing? So so before you publish your paper, you just identify the journal in which you want to publish. The first and foremost thing you have to check with the journal is scope of the journal. The scope will give you the scope of the journal is nothing but what are the different domains from which domains the journal will do the publication. Okay, scope of the journal. The second thing you have to check it is abstracting and indexing. So these are the two important things you have to check it out in each and every journal before you start publishing your paper. And my sincere advice is to go for free journals, don't go for paid journals. Okay, go for free journals, peer-reviewed journals with good indexing, Scopus indexing, Web of Science indexing. Okay, and you have Thomson Reuters ISI. Okay, indexing like that. You just go with that. So now coming back to the presentation, I think with the bibliometrics I have done. Do you have any doubt with respect to bibliometrics? Any clarifications with respect to bibliometrics? If not, we'll proceed with two more important slides and we'll finish it off.
We can proceed, ma'am.
Okay. So now we have talked about the bibliometrics, and I have taken only 3 third-party resources and 2 metrics. That's it. Okay. So if you have the basic fundamental idea about what bibliometrics is and what are the different metrics available and what are the third-party resources, third-party sources which do the evaluation of bibliometrics. So these are the 3 main objectives, 3 main takeaways we have discussed in this bibliometrics thing. And coming back to the regulations published by University Grants Commission for providing this plagiarism, for preventing the plagiarism in all higher educational institutions. They have come out with one very big draft of regulations, the objective and what are the important what is the importance of the higher education institutions to create the awareness to prevent the plagiarism. All those things are listed in this particular document. The URL is also given here, and some of the snippets taken from this PDF. So these are not taken by us. All these are taken by the PDF, which is available in the UGC regulations. That is available in the official website of UGC website. For creating the awareness about responsibility of for academic research and writing and promote academic integrity, for prevention of plagiarism in academic writing, and to establish systems through education training to facilitate this responsible conduct. All these things are the ones, and to detect the plagiarism, all the main objectives. The document is available online, so you can read it out, all those things. And how the higher education institutions should be involved to prevent the plagiarism. Okay, how they have to train the academicians and how they have to create the awareness in the academicians for detecting the plagiarism and to make use of the plagiarism tools and other things, and encourage the academicians to register on international researchers registry systems. That is very, very important. So we should not be confined to one particular region, only Chennai or Coimbatore or Tamil Nadu or Andhra, like that. We have to be globally recognized. So only when we register in international registries, we will be known globally. That the global reach should be there. That is very, very important. And this is also this is also listed in that particular document, the similarity checks for plagiarism. And so when checking for the plagiarism will exclude some of the contents. Okay, so the quoted work, for example, I have given the definition of plagiarism quoted by some authors. Okay, but that is exactly a copy paste. The first 2 slides are exactly copy paste. So in that case, you should not say it is plagiarized. Okay, that should not be changed. The quotation should not be changed. So these are all excluded, and the references, table of contents, all those things, and generic terms. For example, the Ohm's law, Newton's law, all these are the important in computer science. If you say the De Morgan's theorem, so all these are the defined standard terms. So these will all be included under the plagiarism. And this will be the final output. You will get the level of plagiarism will be the final output after checking the plagiarism by the tools, whatever we have discussed. The percentage of plagiarism. Based on the plagiarism percentage, the levels are categorized. If it is less than 10, it is 10%, it is level 0. Between 10 to 40%, it is level 1. Between 40% to 60%, it is level 2. And similarity is above 60%, it is level 3. Okay. So all these are the different levels of plagiarism based on the percentage of plagiarized content in your paper. And as I've told you, the Bharatiya University is checking for the plagiarism by, I'll get into this link and I'll show you. With that we will finish. As I told you in the beginning, the authors who are the researchers who are about to submit their PhD thesis, they have to get the plagiarism report from the Bharatiya University library. The scholar should fill in all the columns of the certificate, and they have to give the e-thesis in the form of the CD, and the permissible similarity level is 30%. If the level is between 31 to 50, the supervisor should modify the contents of the document and reduce the similarity level. Okay, the candidate and the research supervisor. The research supervisor should instruct the candidate to modify the content to make it below 30. Okay, and the modified document should be submitted within the 15 days. If the similarity level is above 50%, the research supervisor should give the explanation. See how the research supervisor is they are troubled because of the candidate's writing. If the candidate is not writing properly, the research supervisor will be in trouble. Okay, they have to give the justification to the university for the contents that is modified. Okay, I think this page is not loaded. So here there will be an application form that will be listed for the level. So do you have any doubts? So this is the certificate. The candidate should fill in the details and the similarity level, accepted maximum level, and the date of verification will be filled in by the university. Okay, along with this application form, the thesis has to be submitted to the university, and the rules, this is what was given in the previous document also. Here, the Bharatiya University is using the Urkund software. The Bharatiya University is using the Urkund software. Similarly, the other universities will be also using the authorized legal plagiarism tools. Mostly the universities are using the commercial tools. They'll be using the commercial tools, Authenticate, Turnitin, and Urkund, like that. Any questions?
Ma'am, in the chat box, there is one question below 30.
One minute, ma'am. I'll check it out. Below 30%. Below 30%, you are allowed. You are allowed to submit. It is level 0 here. So they have said the maximum level, acceptable level is 30%. If it is below 30, well and good. Your work is accepted. Madam, Jani ma'am, Vasanta ma'am, sorry, Vasanta ma'am, if it is below 30, no issues. You are accepted to submit. Any other questions?
Participants, you can type in your queries in the chat box.
Any other questions?
No questions are there in the chat box, ma'am.
To conclude, I have discussed about the need for plagiarism and different plagiarism tools available. This tools is not the exact list of tools. There are plenty of tools available. You can get it online, and about some information about the bibliometrics, how the bibliometrics can be evaluated by the third party resources, and we can get the, because whenever we have our got the proposals, or whenever we write for any funding and all, they'll be all the funding bodies, they'll be checking with the H index of the author, citation index of the author. So based on that only, we will be measured. We will be measured when we go for the next level. Apart from teaching, the next level will be writing research proposals, getting funding, doing some research projects. That will be our that should be our aim. So for that, we have to maintain our bibliometrics to some level. It need not be so much greater. At some point, some level, we have to maintain it. So for that, we have to come out with good publications. Okay, original work, original publication in some leading journals with good in abstracting and indexing. Only when our H index and citation index will grow, and that will take us to the next level of our work. That will be the main objective. And we have seen the UGC regulations, how the universities are doing with the plagiarism checking for getting the thesis submission. That is what is the main objective of this talk. If you have any queries, you can post it. Otherwise, from my side, I once again thank Deepa ma'am, Prasanna ma'am, and the management of the college for giving me this good opportunity to talk with the academic community and to share whatever the knowledge I have, the little bit knowledge I have, the opportunity to share this with the academic community. Sir, the best tool for removing percentage of plagiarism, there is no such tool for reducing plagiarism. Only when you rewrite your content. So there is one more thing called article rewriting. That is a shortcut actually. So if you rewrite the sentence, if you find one particular statement is plagiarized, if you rewrite that sentence, that will not be shown to you as a plagiarized content. Okay, that is one, that is not the correct way. That is one shortcut actually. That is not the correct way. And there is no tool for reducing plagiarism. Only thing, you have to rewrite your content, and once again you have to check your paper with using any one of the tools. Paraphrase tool. Yes, sir. There are so many tools available online for article rewriting. There is a tool called Small SEO Tools. There you can find it out. I forgot to include that. So this is one free tool which you can rely on this, the percentage and the rewriting and all, everything you can make use of this particular smallSEOtools.com for both grammar checking and for article rewriting and for checking your plagiarism. All these can be done. You just go through this website and then you will be finding it out.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for
Ma'am, is there any other questions?
No questions posted, ma'am.
Requesting the participants to fill in the feedback form. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
I think I have answered the queries that is posted in the chat box. Is there any question pending?
No, ma'am. You have answered everything. Thank you so much, ma'am. I request Deepika to formally propose the vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to propose the vote of thanks for today's session. I would like to thank the Almighty for making today's session a success. I extend my gratitude to our speaker, Dr. Uma Maheshwari, for taking the time to be a part of the FTP series on journal writing and for sharing her knowledge and insights. I thank all the participants for taking the time out to attend today's session. A big thank you to our secretary and our associate secretary for their constant guidance and support. My special thanks to our principal and vice principal for giving us encouragement we always need. Last but not the least, I would like to thank Dr. S.D. Deepa, our technical team, and our internal training team for all the support and coordination. Once again, I thank you all.
Ma'am, one small request. Can we take a snap of all the participants by switching on their video? Is it possible?
Yes, ma'am, we can give the call, but participants, if they are willing, let them switch on the video. Participants,
yes, those who are online, they can switch on the video, yes, and we can take it.
Participants, kindly switch on a video for a minute so that we can take the photograph virtually.
Because that will be useful for you also in the future. If it is not for me. Yes, thank you so much.
Participants, can you please for a minute switch on your video? Yes, only few have done it.
No issues, no issues, no issues. There is one message in the chat box. I think your message. Okay. Yeah, given. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Can we end the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for the part.
Thank you. Once again, I thank you for the opportunity given to me.
It's a pleasure that you are here.
Yes, ma'am. Keep in touch.
Participants, you can fill in your feedback form to receive your e-certificate.